We'll start with Bob Bailey, who is the Progressive Conservative candidate for Sarnia-Lambton and the incumbent. Bob, thanks for taking time to join us. We were joking you didn't have far to come, right?
No, that's right. My campaign headquarters is right next door, so I had no excuse to be late. And I want to thank you, Barry, for and YourTV for doing this. It's a great public service to the voters of Sarnia-Lambton and the community as a whole. So I know YourTV is always involved in the community, and so pleasure to be here today with you.
All right, you've been the MPP in Sarnia-Lambton since 2007, so four terms. If you're successful, obviously a fifth. So what was the catalyst for you to take another run?
Well, I guess it's a lot of things to finish. We've accomplished a lot here, I think, in Sarnia-Lambton. You know, we got the funding for the withdrawal management, the $12 million plus for that, to see that finished. Money for both Blue Water Health in Petrolia and the CE campus, and of course Blue Water Health here in Sarnia, more funding for them. There's a rumor going around out there by a certain health coalition that the Ontario government's going to privatize health care. Well, I can put the lie to that. That's not true. You know, we're spending more money today. I think Blue Water Health's budget since 2018 is up $40 million, alone. And like I said, the continued investments here locally in Sarnia-Lambton, both at Petrolia campus and here at the Blue Water Health. More money for Lambton College. They're going to start doing nursing degrees there, and of course the oversized hall corridor, I ran on that in 2018. We got the funding from the private sector, basically more than even the government. So the heavy haul corridor, which is going to help the Chemical Valley as they fabricate vessels, and it'll make traffic around Sarnia as they move those big modules down to the waterfront, or vice versa. It'll make it so much easier and safer for traffic. And the other thing I ran on, and I didn't want to go back to the people without having the funding, so I got initial funding in the budget of 2021 to four-lane the Modeland stretch from Wellington to Indian. So that goes back a long ways. I'm not going to blame any one government, because it goes back at least, I'm going to say 35 to 40 years. You and I were probably driving on it when back then, and I said there's no way that I could go back to the people of Lambton, Sarnia-Lambton, and run again and say I'm going to pave it or get the four lanes done. So I had it included in the budget, I'm proud to say, and it's there. Initial funding, I think it's $2.5 million for engineering, etc. And if you watch close, you see them out there working every day. So I wanted to see that finished. I want to see the withdrawal management center open. A lot of things with industry, of course, the Nova plant. 2,500 plus people working there trying to finish that plant. That's going to be upwards of $3 billion there just locally, plus all the other companies that are looking at building here. The distillery out in St. Clair Township, built with private money, no government money, no incentives at all. So there's lots of positive things going on here. The skilled trades made a number of major announcements with Monty McNaughton, Minister McNaughton recently. $226,000 just recently to the LIUNA, the Laborers International, and of course the pipe fitters for the whole province. They got about $12 million for training. So there's lots of jobs here, and I want to work with the minister and with the local community to encourage young men and women to join these careers, take these careers up, because 1 in every 25%, 1 in every 5 jobs in the next 5 years is going to be in the skilled trades. So I come out of that background myself. Many years ago I worked in industry and worked in the construction industry, worked at Nova Chemicals for over 30 years. So I understand that work, I understand those jobs, and I want to work with the local community and the building trades, etc., to see a finish to that.
Right. Now, as far as your file is concerned individually, is there something on your file that you haven't been able to accomplish yet that you really like to sink your teeth into if you get another term?
Not really. Like I ran on withdrawal management, ran on the four-laning of Modeland Road. That's getting started. The heavy haul corridor was another. More funding for Blue Water Health at both Sarnia and Petrolia. So like in this job, you're never done. Like, I don't want to say I'm finished, because it's not finished. There's more representation. There's more things that I want to see completed. This is a great community of Sarnia-Lambton. Lots of housing starts that are coming. We need to work on affordable housing. Our government, I think, we've got a great plan, to get things done in this province, and that's what Premier Ford's running on, and I intend to run on the same platform to get her done.
Right, right. Gas prices. Gas prices. Everybody's talking about gas prices. We see the numbers sort of go up incrementally, practically every day. What can the province do to offer some relief?
Yeah, well, I know already. Initially, it doesn't sound like much, but we reduced the price of gas a few weeks ago. I think it was 6 cents a liter. Doesn't sound like much when it's up a dime, 12 cents. So we need to work on more sources of that and fuel. And of course, we've got to move into electric vehicles. There's $5 billion investment by the Stellantis, which is the old Chrysler, in Windsor to make electric vehicle batteries. Big investments both in Oshawa and to Oakville as they retool and start new lines there. I think we're upwards, just in the automobile industry, investment of $14 billion in the province. I remember in 2018 when GM was walking away from Oshawa, and everybody, threw their hands up and they said, "Oh my God!" But we've been able to change the focus, and we have the minerals here in northern Ontario, the chromium, the lithium, all those different minerals to make those batteries, so we won't be dependent like we are today for the microchips. So you see a lot of these plants sitting idle, or vehicles the dealers can't get them. So I think we got a great idea there that we can slowly progress, make these vehicles affordable, build them right here in Ontario, revamp that auto industry, and get people into these new vehicles. I don't have one yet, but I guess the way things are going, before I quit driving, maybe I'll have one.
Maybe you'll have one, exactly. One of the other sectors, obviously, that's very important to Sarnia-Lambton is the agriculture sector. Of course, your riding takes in not only the urban area, but the rural areas as well, or many of the rural areas. What's on the books for agriculture moving forward?
Well, exactly. We increased the revenue management program by $50 million. It was $100 million. We increased it by another $50 million, and I know that the minister and Minister McNaughton and Minister Thompson have both started some new programs. There's all kinds of jobs in agriculture that are going to become open in the future, and so we're going to retrain young men and women that want to work in agriculture, want to work in, maybe raised in the rural area, and want to stay in that type of industry. So there's going to be lots of opportunities there, and our government, we've got great people there, as Minister Thompson from my next door riding of here in Bruce, and of course with Mr. McNaughton as the Minister of Labour. They've cooperated very good that way, and I look forward to working with them on making those careers available.
Right. One of the other issues that's been in the headlines off and on is the opioid crisis. I think there was a recent report to County Council that says the number of deaths have increased substantially over the past couple of years. What can the government do to sort of sink its teeth into that issue?
Well, that's a big problem. That's a federal provincial program as well that we need to really cooperate with. I think the OPP and the city police are doing a great job. The Sarnia police here, it's almost insurmountable. Being on the border here, I seen the other day where they found a drone that was bringing handguns across, I think 12, 15 handguns. So I'm assuming there's probably drugs coming over that way. So we're going to all have to be vigilant as a community, do our part as well to work with police, whether it's Crime Stoppers. And of course here locally, the withdrawal management to get people when they do need help and they're ready and looking for help, so their families and them can access that. So that's going to be a very important part of that administered at the Blue Water Health site. Proud to say I was part of that and got the initial funding for Ryan's house to help with that. And then when we get these other 24 beds there, it'll be very important, and it'll be one small step in that. We need more help across the province. We need more withdrawal management sites like we're going to have in Sarnia. I think too, the police here locally, we've funded a program where we fund both the city police and the OPP with the officers that and people from the healthcare field that respond with them when they know it's something to do with opioid or drug. They respond with them because sometimes they don't need to. The only thing the police can do is take them maybe to jail or incarceration. Maybe that's not what they need. They may need an assessment. So that's a program I'm very proud that we got dollars here both for the city police and for the OPP to respond with those medical professionals, healthcare, mental professionals.
You talked about cooperation in some issues such as opioid with the federal government and some issues as well. You work with municipal governments, not just in Sarnia and in various municipalities through Sarnia-Lambton. How important is that cooperation between the three levels?
Oh yeah, it's critical. We couldn't have done during both COVID, recovering from COVID, we couldn't have possibly as a province, we use the royal we couldn't have made the kind of investments, both in healthcare and both in a number of these municipal investments, whether it's for sewers, waters. We couldn't have done it alone. We need a partner. We've had one with the federal government and of course the municipal government. So just a good example. I was out the other day as an announcement out at the Petrolia pumping station, which you'll be familiar. You and I both get our water from the Petrolia water system. $16 million investment to extend and deepen the intake system out there, because changing, it's been in there for probably at least 50 years, the one that's there. The system dates back over 100 years. But that was a cooperative venture between the federal government, provincial government, and of course the municipalities. And it was kind of unique because it was a big project. So what we did, my office, we worked with the local municipalities, Don Euphemia, Enniskillen Township, Petrolia, and Oil Springs, made a joint submission. 5 municipalities went together, and the Minister of Infrastructure said it was unique, and they wanted to see more investments like that and applications. So that helped get that project across the finish line. That was $16 million. $5 million from the province. So those are the kind of things where, you know, and I work great with the Minister, MPP Gladhu's office, and she with mine. Every day there'll be someone come in that needs something, but it's a federal issue or it's a provincial issue. So they send them to us, we send them. You know, we work together to solve issues, and of course got a great relationship here with the county of Lambton, of course all the mayors, Mayor Bradley, all the different mayors, the 11 municipalities that represent the county, Warden Marriott. I taught him probably, well, he's planting grain right now, so he doesn't bother me right now. Yeah, he's a busy man. But when he's not planting stuff, I taught him on at least a daily basis as well. So it's all about cooperation. I started out in the municipal field many more years ago, and so I walk the talk and walk the walk with those men and women that represent the municipalities. And this is the first form of government that's, you know, where your neighbor could be your councillor or your mayor, and people, whether it's Petrolia or Oil Springs, Enniskillen, people drop in and see you right at your house, and so, you know, and we're the next level. So we hear from them on an ongoing basis. Privileged to work with them. I salute them, their dedication as well, because I know it's not easy.
We've only got about 30 seconds to go, and we're heading into the long weekend.
Yeah.
Are we likely to see the Premier here sometime before the election campaign is out?
You never know. I know he was here 4 years ago, and you know, he could show up. I don't know. He's a busy man. He's got 124 ridings to go to, and he expects incumbents like myself to carry our own weight and carry our own pail of water and get out there and do what we need to do. And he's got I got a number of new colleagues that are hoping to be elected. And so I think he's going to be in their ridings. It's up to me and Minister McNaught to do our job here. And thanks again.
Bob, thank you for taking time to join us, and
Yep.
we look forward to the results coming come June 2nd.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them too as well. And thank you to YourTV and YourVote for holding this today.
Bob Bailey is the Progressive Conservative candidate for Sarnia-Lambton. Don't forget, advance polls are open now until the 28th of May if you want to go in that direction. And of course, the vote itself is on June 2nd. You're watching Your Vote on YourTV.